Welcome to the implementation overview. How we help you to set up the evaluation. The first thing we ask you to do is identify a group of target learners. All learners will complete the pre-test assessment. The What We're Teachers platform will then randomly allocate them to the intervention and control group once you've entered the pre-test data. The intervention group will receive the intervention for the next 4 to 5 weeks, and the comparison group will continue as normal. And then at the end, both groups complete the post-assessment task, which is the same as the pre. You will then enter the post-test data into the What We're Teachers platform. It will generate an impact report, and if the approach is successful, you can then open this up to your comparison group. So planning. So step 1 is to identify a group of students to participate in the evaluation from the same year group. Step 2, identify 40 challenging words from the National Curriculum Guidance. These will be introduced by 10 new spellings over 4 weeks. And then the 5th week will be a review. Select 20 words to use as a pre and post assessment task. Step 3, complete the pre-assessment spelling test with all learners. Record the marks in the Excel tracker or the Word document, which is located in the resource folder, and then input these into the pre-test on the trial wizard. Step 4, using the trial wizard on the What We're Teachers platform, you will randomly allocate learners to the intervention and comparison group. Step 5, for the intervention group, deliver the targeted intervention. Use your professional judgment to decide the frequency, whether it's daily, weekly, and log this in the process evaluation. The comparison group will continue with business as usual for the duration of the trial. And step 6 is complete the post-assessment spelling test, which is the same as the pre, to both the intervention and the comparison group. Record the marks in your Excel tracker, and then input this into the post-test on the trial wizard. So the intervention. So the target group, the spelling intervention in this trial focuses on year 2 and 3 pupils. Delivery, the intervention is delivered by a teaching assistant in small groups and can be set as homework. And the time each session will take approximately 10 to 15 minutes. The spelling strategy is the look, say, cover, write, check, which is a method of spelling learning where children study a word, say the word aloud clearly, paying attention to the spelling, cover it up with a piece of paper or their hand, write the spelling next to the original word, check their version to see if they got it right, and then write the correct spelling again if necessary. This version of the strategy emphasizes reading and saying the word aloud to help connect the written and spoken word. So how to select your spellings. So we advise that you use the DfE National Curriculum Guidance on pages 59 to 72 for the expected spellings. You can use this to create a list of 40 words that you will select for the intervention. And then each week the learners will practice a minimum of 10 new words using the look, say, cover, write, check strategy with a teaching assistant. In the resource folder, you will find a template that you can use. You will also find a tracking spreadsheet, which you link an anonymized student learner on the platform to a student in your class or in your target group. And then you just record the controller intervention in the next tab. So key considerations, logistical issues need to be considered before using a targeted spelling strategy as an intervention. So is there a suitable time of the day? Is there a suitable location? Supervision. What can you do if you do not have sufficient TAs to deliver the intervention? Could it potentially be class level? Reminders. So on the day of the intervention, can learners be reminded about the session? And resources. If you're using the templates, can these be printed off in advance? And then finally, will you link this to potentially rewards? So logistical barriers are common in any intervention delivered in schools, so it's just important to consider these prior to starting. And finally, just moving on to the assessment. So the outcome measure is attainment as defined by the pre and post spelling test. This is the one that you create from your spelling list. The assessment is marked out of 20, as the same for both the pre and the post. As both the comparison and the intervention groups receive the same assessment, familiarity with this should not bias the effect. And finally, assessment guidance. Complete the assessment under test conditions. Allow approximately 10 to 15 minutes. Provide an example of the word in a sentence for each spelling, and then make sure you record the pre and post on your tracking spreadsheet and then in the platform. So that's the end of your implementation guidance. Now it's time to move on to download your protocol, your resource folder, and then start your trial.